Welcome to the first ever episode of Tailgate Tutorials with Poolsure. You'll have to forgive the generator noise in the background. A bad storm rolled through earlier and we are currently out of power. Okay, so what I'm working on today is testing out this product from Weldon, not sponsored here on the channel. But what this is, product 810, is for joining dissimilar materials or fabricating parts. We might use this in like an underground plumbing scenario where it's really difficult to cut and replumb, or we might use it on like a say a 12-inch pipe underground or something that might cost $10,000 to make a repair on, rather than cutting and plumbing in 490s or 2 flanges to drop into place. We might use this to fabricate a new fitting, patch up a crack, anything like that. So I've got some different things I'm going to test out on this test piece here. What I'm going to do is go ahead and weld with traditional joints the majority of this setup. My final joint over here I'm going to join using the Weldon 810 product. In the middle I've got an 1.5-inch coupling, obviously not the right fitting to go into here, and we're going to have a gap. So I'm going to see if I can use the 2-part compound to make up the difference in that, see if that'll hold pressure. Then what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to drill a hole in the pipe, and I'm going to cover that up with the product as well as over here. I'm going to make a cut with my Sawzall, and I'm going to patch all those up, and then I'll pressurize this system and see how long they hold. So stand by and I'll be back with the next part of this video. Alright, I'm going to end up losing light before I get this project done today, but where we're at right now is I've gone ahead and, per the instructions, I have scuffed up the surfaces that we're going to be putting this adhesive on with 200 grit sandpaper. It says you can use 200 to 400, and then also on the instructions it says that we can weld fiberglass, we can weld metal, hard plastics, phenolics, ceramics, glass, a wide range of items. We've used this before on fiberglass to PVC connections, and it's worked well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this put together and then get it pressure tested. We are going to be using just a simple tire stem, so we can inflate this using a hand pump, and we'll probably drill and tap a gauge on here somewhere so we can monitor the pressure. So I'll bring you back once I've got it assembled and it's ready for the test. Alright, so I have got the product already applied to the spots. So the joint up here, did a hole drill here, covered it up with some of this mesh screen material, patch material. The instructions say that if you have a large gap you might have to use that, and possible multiple layers of mesh and product in order to seal it up. Here we have an 1.5-inch coupler inside of a 2-inch socket, so we have about an 1/8 of an inch gap all around there. It doesn't make a good seal. You couldn't seal that with normal solvent cement. And then here we've got a gash cut with a Sawzall. So I'm going to go ahead and let this set up for 24 hours, and then we'll get back and pressure test it and see how it goes. Alright, so we have our contraption put together. We've got, on this side, we've got a 1/2-inch hole drilled underneath here. In the other video you probably saw that there was a black piece over here. That was some tape that I used as a compression method to really squeeze it down over the hole that we drilled. The mesh screen that I had put on it wasn't cooperating with getting it down flat, so that's what that's about. Over here we have the 1.5-inch coupling inside the 2-inch socket. So there was about an 1/8 of an inch gap all the way around here, so definitely not the correct way to do that. Over here we have a saw cut of about 2 inches into the pipe, And then on this side, we went ahead and glued this cap on with our 810 epoxy. So I've already got this pressurized. Let's go ahead and check the pressure. All right, so we're set to 0. We're going to test it. We are at 25 psi. We've actually been holding 25 psi for about 15 minutes now. And as I submerge it underwater, you'll see there's no bubbles coming up in the water. Nothing whatsoever. Let the water stabilize. So we're holding 25 psi, no leaks. Again, we'll flip it in this way. Let the water stabilize. There we go. No leaks whatsoever. I've got about a 48-hour cure on this epoxy. It says it reaches near maximum strength after 24 hours, but I went ahead and gave it the best possible shot at succeeding. So we're holding pressure. I'll keep running it up and see how far we can get. Okay, we have been holding 40 psi now for about 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and check the pressure. We're zeroed out. You can see it there. We're actually a little bit above 40 psi. And once again, we are holding pressure. No air bubbles. No distortions in any of the epoxy. Go ahead and flip it over. Not even around the tire stem. So 40 psi, that's pretty good. On this side here, we had the screen mesh. On this side, it was just a glob of the 810 epoxy. That was it. So I'm pretty impressed with it. If it'll hold 40 psi, I think it'll hold just about anything that we're going to need for the pool industry. So thanks for coming along for the test.